Good morning. It is not an ideal start to our day, that's for sure. Here this morning, we're looking out toward the west, or trying to at least. We've got some fog that's really causing some issues now at this point in time. And we've also got, of course, those icy roads here in North Dakota. Of course, we have that travel alert in northeastern parts of the state, but it's icy right here in Fargo-Moorhead. Driving into work, those side streets are going to be a big problem, especially those intersections. And over to the east, more of the same into Minnesota. I'm just checking our Minnesota DOT alerts, and two reports of issues on the roads, a jackknife semi on Highway 10 near Wadena there, and along Highway 34, just east of Detroit Lakes, rather, a report of a jackknife semi on that highway as well. So some issues on the roads, big issues for anybody who's going to be traveling this morning. Those areas where crews haven't been able to get to yet, you're going to run into some trouble with icy conditions. So we have a winter weather advisory in effect. It includes Grand Forks, Fargo, other places in the valley. For most of us, this is until 6 a.m. for most of the areas in the valley that you see here, but up in the northeast until 9 a.m. That's where we're still getting some snow, and it's going to take a little longer to work its way out. But you can see that snow still going on around the Lake of the Woods, Baudette area, stretching down toward Red Lake and back up to Roseau and War Road, seeing a few flakes still lingering there. Gradually that will lift off to the northeast with the main part of this system. You can see some heavy snow in parts of Ontario, and that's just going to continue to move to the northeast at this point. So quieting down, but we still have that fog. We have a little mist out there, and again, those icy conditions on those roads this morning. We're all below freezing, just a couple of degrees or so in most areas, but it's just enough to make for some very slick travel. Sidewalks are going to be a big problem too, I think, this morning as well in parking lots. So please be careful if you're going to be stepping outside. 31 in Fargo, 28 in Grand Forks, 28 in Jamestown, into Fosston. We're at 29 degrees. Detroit Lakes, so we're having issues just east of town. The temperature is at 29 degrees there. Our visibility has been lowering. We're less than a mile in Gwinner, at 3/4 of a mile there, less than 2 in Fargo and in Grand Forks. And as we check out our wind speeds, not too strong. We're seeing winds that are up to 15 miles per hour, variable, but on average out of the south. So here for the rest of your morning, that snow clears. In fact, the clouds will clear eventually too, and we'll start to see some sun. Temperatures rise a little bit, but it's not going to be much. So it'll be just enough for some of us in the south to see some numbers above freezing, and hopefully some improvement to that ice that we've got out there. Northern Valley closer to freezing, maybe some of us spending the day below. So we're really going to rely on those crews to get those roads treated. Heading into the 7 o'clock hour tonight, more clouds move in, perhaps a couple of areas of light snow into the nighttime hours tonight and lingering into tomorrow morning. And look at these winds, they really do start to pick up, and that's going to start to bring in some much colder air for us here throughout the valley. We're looking at some numbers that are going to be sliding through the day, starting in the morning hours. Around 8 a.m., we're around daybreak, we're looking at about 15 degrees in Fargo, and we just continue that gradual slide from there. Just a degree or two by noon, and then heading into the afternoon, more places seeing some single digits. So not a warm day by any stretch here for Tuesday, and still breezy, still windy into the nighttime hours Tuesday night. Here's our photo today, a sunset in Hendrum. Thanks, Becky, for sharing that shot. Just a really pretty sky there. This morning not looking so pretty out there. Again, please be careful. Tomorrow windy and unpleasant with temperatures dropping, and then Wednesday is going to be quite cold, a high of only 6 degrees, but just in time for us to head into the weekend. We'll see some warming temperatures at the end of the week and into the weekend, back to average or even above, with our next chance for snow and maybe a little mix Thursday and into Friday. So you're going to be slip sliding here this morning, especially around those intersections and those places that tend to freeze over first and be last to melt. That's the right word. As we move into the morning or later morning hours and afternoon, it might get a little bit better, but early this morning especially, it's going to be toughest.
In West Fargo, it was bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Slid right through Wallen and Moorhead as well, so we cover the metro.
Thank you, Lisa. Coming up on the Valley today, we'll show you some tips and tricks on how to do meal prep.